he's become very emboldened. He's been speaking a lot more publicly about his belief system, the agenda that he believes in, the ideology he pursues. He's far from some sort of neutral or apolitical technologist. Very much the opposite. He is a hardcore neocon, as devoted of a loyalist to Israel as it gets. He very much believes in the virtues and necessity of American war and American power, and makes very clear that the goal of Palantir is to serve that and maximize it. So I just want to show you a little bit about Alex Karp, the person who really is the sole controller and manager of Palantir, the company that, as we just showed you, is now playing such a central role, almost unprecedentedly powerful role in America's deep state and in its intelligence apparatus and security state. Here from May of 2025, so just last month, is Alex Karp. He was doing an event at the Ash Carter Exchange, and here's part of what he said.
What I think is a often overlooked part of this battle is we kind of just think these things that are happening across college campuses especially are like a sideshow. No, they are the show. Because if we lose the intellectual debate, you will not be able to deploy any army in the West ever. And of course our adversary.
All right, here is Alex Karp speaking on CNBC. I just want to kind of show you what he speaks about, what he prioritizes. Here he is proclaiming anti-Semitism in the United States, particularly the college protest against Israel, to be one of the gravest problems. And here's a decree that he issued about all of that.
Most of America is horrified by what happened on October 7th. Almost everyone in America is horrified by the dramatic rise of anti-Semitism, which does not receive the reaction it deserves. And most Americans would like to see leadership on the Middle East, on bringing hostages home, especially American hostages, and clear statements about discrimination, even discrimination against Jews. I feel, though, I think part of the reason why leaders need to stand up is this is a very, very, very small minority of America. They succeed in having an outsized impact simply because the rest of America thinks they're so idiotic that this can't actually be dangerous or true. But it is dangerous, and they do believe these things. And if we do not speak up, they will continue to tell themselves this, and there will be a sense on their side that it's okay to push the boundaries and push the boundaries and push the boundaries. And so, as heinous as what these people are saying is, it exists in part because there are not enough people saying this is really dumb, this is hatred, and it will not be tolerated.
It would be, I think, sinister enough if somebody just completely apolitical was at the helm of a privatized surveillance state as expansive and powerful and virtually limitless as Palantir now is. But to have somebody who views protest movements against a foreign government to which he's loyal, Israel.
Ready to lose the hat and regrow the
government to which he's loyal, Israel, harbor so much contempt and so much hatred for the people who are those protesters. Does it seem like he's somebody who is inclined to use this surveillance power or in this data in very neutral and apolitical ways? Or do you think he's somebody who feels so passionately about things like Israel that that information in his hands would almost certainly be weaponized against those who he thinks are advocating an ideology that he regards as evil or dangerous? I think the question to ask the question is to answer it. Here from the New York Post, more on Alex Karp. The Palantir CEO says that the Columbia protesters should do, quote, exchange program in North Korea. Just to give you a sense of Peter Thiel in November of 2024, and as I said, he doesn't run the company, but he still is influential within Palantir. He spoke with, you'll never guess who, Barry Weiss, and she asked him about, you'll never guess what, Israel. And here's what Peter Thiel said about his view of the U.S. and Israel.
I don't know. I don't think the U.S. and Israel are, perfectly in sync. But But I do think that if we simply deferred to Israel and on things related to the Middle East, we'd have a far saner policy. We'd have a far more realistic policy.
So that's it. So that's their view is, that's Peter Thiel's view is, we just need to defer to Israel. Look, we're not always going to be on the same page, but the best thing to do, defer to Israel. Have Israel tell us what they want and give it to them. Have Israel tell us what they want us to do and do it. Let's just defer to Israel and we'll be much better off.